like to make the motion to adjourn the meeting.
We here to handle the business, not let the business handle us. That's what we are elected to do, sir. So please.
It's her fault. It's her problem, her responsibility, and she failed. She's failed every.
The drama in Dolton, Illinois, just keeps escalating with each passing day. Tiffany Henyard, who dubs herself the super mayor of this small Chicago suburb, is at the heart of a political storm that grows more chaotic by the hour. If you thought small-town politics couldn't be thrilling, think again. This latest saga features unpaid rent, allegations of misuse of taxpayer funds, and even discussions of potential arrests. Township meetings have devolved into theatrical performances rather than serious governance, with Tiffany taking center stage. Let's unpack the whirlwind that is Dolton under Henyard's leadership.
Several new developments in South suburban Dolton today. First, the state comptroller has suspended some payments to the village because it has failed to follow the law by providing financial.
To set the scene, Tiffany Henyard, who was elected as mayor in 2021, has become one of the most controversial figures in local politics. She's facing a slew of accusations, including lavish spending of taxpayer money, using police as her personal security, and wait for it, being evicted from her own home for non-payment of rent. Yes, you read that correctly. The mayor of Dolton, who boasts a combined salary of nearly $300,000 from her roles as mayor and township supervisor, hasn't paid rent since August. Her landlord, Janetta Hall, once considered Henyard a friend but is now filing eviction papers against her and her boyfriend, Kamal Woods, for allegedly neglecting to pay rent on their Dolton home.
You could feel the anger tonight at a Board of Trustees meeting in Thornton Township. The board and citizens looking for accountability to their finances, while the township supervisor.
As if that weren't enough, Henyard's leadership style resembles that of a reality TV villain more than that of a public servant. This is just one of the many controversies swirling around her. Hall has claimed that Henyard and her boyfriend owe her thousands in back rent, and they even had the audacity to change the locks and the garage code to keep her out. Hall, now on the brink of losing her property to foreclosure, is understandably furious. She says this situation has left her between a rock and a hard place. For Hall, it's no longer just about the money. She wants them out of her house for good. And frankly, who could blame her?
Is there a motion to terminate Keith Freeman?
While one fire rages on the home front, another is blazing in the political arena. Henyard is embroiled in a bitter feud with the village trustees, who have accused her of everything from forging checks to withholding financial records. The tension has reached a boiling point, with both sides trading accusations of corruption and misconduct. In fact, the trustees have filed a lawsuit against Henyard, and she's now retaliating in the most dramatic fashion possible. In a recent Facebook Live rant that lasted nearly 90 minutes, Henyard announced her intention to seek the arrests of her political opponents, though she didn't specify what crimes they allegedly committed. "I will be pressing charges," she declared, with all the conviction of someone who's watched too many legal dramas. And that's just the tip of the iceberg.
Coming in, unfortunately, we knew it was going to be a little messy, but it's just something we felt important that had to be done, that should be done. But like I said, just some accountability.
The irony here is palpable. Rich Pennard, who is currently under federal investigation for her own lavish spending and misuse of taxpayer money, is now accusing her opponents of corruption. This is the same mayor who earlier this year was caught spending tens of thousands of taxpayer dollars on first-class flights, luxury hotel stays, and fine dining in cities like New York and Atlanta. One shocking report revealed that she dropped a staggering $43,000 on Amazon in a single day. Let that sink in. $43,000 on Amazon, and we're not talking about office supplies for the village. It looks more like a personal shopping spree at the public's expense. Henyard's spending habits even caught the attention of former Chicago Mayor Laura Lightfoot, who was brought in to investigate Dolton's finances. The findings were jaw-dropping. Dolton's general fund balance plummeted from $51 million in 2022 to a deficit of $365 million by May 2024. That's nearly a $9 million swing in less than 2 years, all under Henyard's watch.
A legal appointment, that's what the trustees I talked to are calling this. They say the news took them by surprise, and now they're talking to legal counsel to figure out their next.
But it's not just about the glitzy trips and extravagant parties. Pennard's spending spree has left the village in dire straits. Vendors are going unpaid, and crucial services are hanging in the balance. In one particularly egregious case, it was revealed that at least 589 checks, totaling over $6 million, were printed but never sent to vendors. This not only tarnished the village's reputation but also left local businesses scrambling to stay afloat. Henyard's opponents have pointed to this as clear evidence that she's more focused on her own lifestyle than on serving the community she was elected to represent. With federal investigators reportedly digging deeper into Dolton's finances, it's evident that these issues aren't going away anytime soon.
You should pay everybody. Is there a reason why you guys are not paying whatever that vendor is?
What was it for?
It was for shirts. That's what it's for.
But does Henyard show any remorse for the village's financial troubles? Of course not. If anything, she's doubling down on her self-appointed role as the town's savior. In her Facebook rant, she accused her critics of being jealous and promised to reveal the full truth. At a later date, something that sounds more like a plot twist in a soap opera, she even suggested that her opponents were trying to distract the public with accusations to cover up their own corruption. Why is all this attention on Tiffany Henyard, she asked, portraying herself as the innocent victim of some grand conspiracy? Meanwhile, the residents of Dolton are left shaking their heads, wondering how they ended up with a mayor who seems more interested in playing the victim than addressing the real issues facing the village, like water main breaks, unpaid vendors, and a police force stretched thin because officers are busy acting as Henyard's personal bodyguards. These are just a few of the pressing problems plaguing the town, yet Henyard continues to insist that everything she does is for the people, as if her extravagant spending is somehow a service to the community.
Lacey is absolutely not guilty of all 9 counts. I believe he's cooperating. And if you cooperate, you have to...
One particularly shocking revelation from Lightfoot's investigation was that village credit cards were used for everything from high-end furniture to travel expenses for taxpayer-funded trips to Las Vegas. And let's not forget the billboard campaign plastering Henyard's face all over town, as if Dolton were her personal playground where she could do as she pleases. In a particularly tone-deaf move, she even threw an $85,000 party featuring R&B singer Keisha Cole and rapper Jay Holiday, all while the town's financial situation was spiraling out of control.
Who would make a one-day purchase of over $40,000 to Amazon? And the main thing is, what?
As if things couldn't get any more bizarre, Henyard's township meetings have become infamous for their dysfunction. Take the most recent meeting, which can only be described as a live-action dumpster fire. Intended to address important township business, it devolved into chaos as Henyard clashed with the trustees and refused to allow trustees Coro to participate via phone. Coro's absence was due to safety concerns, but Henyard dismissed her colleagues' legitimate worries with a mix of pettiness and arrogance, outright refusing to accommodate her request for virtual attendance.
It saddens my heart that you are up here at this special meeting and not downstairs where we have big bingo.
And that's not all. When it came time to approve the meeting minutes, Henyard acted like a dictator, trying to bulldoze her way through the proceedings without any discussion. She even had the audacity to second her own motion when no one else would, a blatant violation of parliamentary procedure. As the meeting dragged on, it became clear that Henyard was more interested in grandstanding than in actually accomplishing anything. When trustee Chris Gonzalez finally had enough and walked out, Henyard wasted no time spinning the narrative to fit her agenda. She claimed that Gonzalez had abandoned his duties and was unwilling to handle the business of the people, conveniently ignoring the fact that her own behavior had caused the meeting to fall apart in the first place.
Township residents are paying for her.
It's no wonder residents are growing increasingly fed up with Henyard's antics. One commenter on a YouTube video about the township meeting perfectly captured the sentiment, urging, "Arrest this clown already." Another didn't hold back either, stating she is the worst enemy of the residents. By a mile, these comments reflect the mounting frustration among Dolton residents, who feel Henyard is more focused on maintaining her grip on power than serving the community. Despite the criticism, Henyard remains defiant. She recently announced her candidacy for re-election, much to the dismay of many. In typical fashion, she made the announcement on Facebook, claiming, "I am running for re-election for mayor of Dolton." As if the last few years of scandal and mismanagement never happened. With political opponents like trustee Jason House rallying to challenge her in the upcoming election, Henyard seems determined to fight tooth and nail to keep her position. Although her campaign finance records indicate she hasn't raised much money recently, that hasn't stopped her from pushing forward with her re-election bid. The question now is whether the residents of Dolton will give her another chance or finally decide enough is enough. Henyard's tenure as mayor has been nothing short of chaotic, with accusations of corruption, financial mismanagement, and abuse of power piling up faster than she can deny them. With the FBI reportedly investigating her spending habits, it's uncertain how much longer she can maintain her grip on the town. If there's one thing we've learned from Henyard, it's that she won't go down without a fight. The saga of Tiffany Henyard serves as a cautionary tale about what happens when someone treats public office as their own personal playground. Her rise to power may have been meteoric, but if a fall comes, it will be spectacular. The residents of Dolton deserve better, and hopefully they'll make their voices heard in the next election. Until then, we'll all be watching to see what Tiffany Henyard does next. Will she manage to hold on to her position despite the mounting scandals, or is this the beginning of the end for Dolton's super mayor? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to hit that like button if you think it's time for a change in Dolton's leadership.